We're going to take a look at Purplesoft, and by way of general introduction, we're going to cover quotation through sales order, through delivery to invoice and to cash. That will give you an idea of the simplicity of data entry, the power of the integration, the interaction between different components of the software. So I'm going to switch module to quotations to build the quotation, go straight in, and if I start entering into the customer field, you will see that the software actually cuts down to the available options. So these are customers with the word music in them. If I were to type in Vancouver, for example, you'll see that there are many customers in this list, none of which have Vancouver in their name. They all actually have Vancouver in their address. So it's searching every field within the customer record. So you could likewise search on email address, phone number, or many other fields. I'll drop in the details and I will do the same thing on the item record. If I put in the word flute, it'll show me the flutes. If I put in, for example, KEYB for keyboards, it'll show me the various keyboard instruments that are configured here. If I know the codes, I can simply type them. And once I have built the quotation, I'll just put 2 of these items on here. This ribbon up here is sensitive to the row that I'm in. So if I change row, this shows me figures for my flutes. There are 16 in the whole company in inventory, 16 on sales orders, 60 that I'm awaiting goods receipts on. And if I look on, for example, location, this shows me that the 16 have 6 in Miami and 10 in the warehouse. If I wanted to see purchase orders, I can look at the purchase orders. I can drill into each purchase order in turn to try seeing when the items are actually expected. Once I'm happy with my quotation, I can create an email. There's fully integrated email built into the system, and the email creates an HTML file which we can find here, and you can see that you can build your own templates complete with attractive graphics and even click-throughs to different logos and the like. So that email then gets sent. Attached to the email will be a PDF of the quotation itself. And the software has got completely user configurable, drag and droppable forms, so you can make these as pretty as you like. Next, the customer is likely to actually place the order. So we can go ahead and create the order from the quotation. The details are copied across, and more than likely all we need to do is create a customer PO number. Maybe we will also create another email giving an order acknowledgement to the customer in the same way as we've already emailed the last record. And then we can go ahead and actually do the fulfillment of this order. So in this case, we've determined that we know that there's inventory in the warehouse. We can go ahead and create a delivery. And this, in each case, the record still exists. The quotation still exists, but is now 100% probable. The order exists, and the delivery now exists as well. I'm going to specify that this is being delivered from the warehouse, and there is a 2-stage save process within a delivery record. The record, when it is not yet okayed, is in effect a picking note. It's unconfirmed in the system, and that would typically give information on the location in the warehouse of the goods, possibly some information on the weights, and possibly even batch numbers and serial numbers that you need to pick. When the information has been completed and the goods have indeed been picked, okaying the record does 3 things. It changes the inventory in real time. If we go back to the ribbon, you can see there are no longer any in inventory in the warehouse. The same is true of the pan flutes. There is still inventory in Chicago for the pan flutes, for example. The second thing is that the document changes to a packing slip or delivery note, and may indeed have back order information on it as well. And the third thing is that if you configure it to do so, the system can give you a real-time cost of goods sold accrual based on the delivery, which is then reversed on the invoice. Some people like to accrue, some people only like to have the cost of goods sold entry done from the invoice. It's a setting within the software. All of that happens in the background. The user doesn't really notice anything is happening. And then from the order, we can go ahead and create the invoice. That again copies all the information. Again, the order is still there, but all the information has gone through into an invoice, and we could indeed create the actual document to go with the invoice. And okaying the invoice actually posts the information to the general ledger. If we open the general ledger transaction, you can see the entries that went through right the way through to the GL. And indeed, there's our cost of goods sold entry as well. Everything is pinned together. So if we look at this order record, you will see this icon is called the link manager, and clicking on it, you can see everything that is connected to this order. The quotation that originally created it, here's the quotation, can be drilled through to from the order. So it's really serving the same use as a paperclip or staple in your organization at the moment. You're probably pinning together a bundle of paperwork and then filing it. This is all done electronically. So I can find the originating quotation, I can find the email to which we associated the order acknowledgement, I can find the delivery, I can find the final invoice. Everything pinned together to make it easy. Two final points with which to close. First, we're going to look at the customer record. So against the customer record, there is a report called customer status. And this report is a huge report that covers every interaction this customer has had with the system. So we can see all the people that work at this customer. We can see a number of CRM activities that will be covered in a separate video. We can see their entire accounts receivable history, plus whether the invoices have been received or not. We can see monthly turnover, items that they bought, and then the quotation positions. So that quotation 1068 was accepted by creating order 1079. Order 1079 has been fully shipped and invoiced. Each of these records is drillable, so we can get the entire history and get access to any record. So here is the order. On the order record, there is a paperclip, as indeed there is on every record within the system. And on this paperclip, you can see if we just open up the file that's attached, there is actually a contract. So you can attach any outside file to any record within Purplesoft, so that you can maintain, for example, scans of your payables as PDFs, maybe Excel spreadsheets against budgets, even CAD drawings against your bill of materials. The next video is going to cover customer relationship management and how everything that we've seen so far can interact with the story that is CRM.